Yes, sir. Mic is on. Mic check. This is Don Bucks. Welcome to Rap and Dough, the home of money conversations. This is conversation that brings compensation. It's been a couple days. And fellas, before we get into that, this is the part of the evening where I get my sauce, my perspective on my posts that I've been posting for the past couple days. As a lot of y'all know, I took yesterday off, and we gonna start with that Neo DeViso post, because a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are confused and don't know which way to go because there's so much information out here. Like, you know, we scrolling all day. We're bombarded with information all day, every day. And one thing that, because I tapped into Neo a few years ago, and one thing he was talking about was find out what you do better than everybody else. That comes easy to you. That seems to be hard for everybody else. And I think that question that we ask ourselves, because I don't think a lot of people actually sat down and really considered what comes easy to them. And that's harder for everybody else. And that's a game changer, I think. I think that's a game changer. What comes easy to you that other people think is hard. And he calls that, and I would call it that as well. I would call that your gift. I would think it's a gift, right? If you can do something that comes easy to you and hard to other people, like, that's a gift, and that needs to be tapped into. I was having this conversation not too long ago. This friend of mine, their daughter can put together Lego projects fast. And I said, yo, because I remember Legos back in the day, and I used to get frustrated with Legos. Like, I might build some little rinky dink. This is before they had, like, you can build, they come in like boxes that tells you what the Lego is supposed to create at the end of you putting everything together. They didn't have that back in the day. But now you can build all types of shit. Like, they even got a Lego theme park at this point where there's all types of things that's made out of Legos. But this person's daughter can put together those Lego projects in record speed. I said, that needs to be looked into. That's engineer type of activity. You need to put her in some engineering type classes. So, stuff like that. What can you do that comes easy to you but hard for other people? That's your gift. And that right there, I believe, will open up a lot of doors for a lot of people. Get their wheels turning in regards to, you know, what they should be doing, where they should be focusing their energy. Another thing bro was saying, that I also been saying as well. What could you build once and get paid forever for? What could you build once and get paid forever for? As well as, where is your time most well spent? And that right there, I got that gem in so many places, but one spot in particular I got that gem was from a book called Who, Not How. Because a lot of times we be trying to figure things out on our own, and that might not be our area of of expertise or knowledge, our wheelhouse. So we might have to delegate some tasks to people that know how to do it better. So that goes back to the first question. What do you know how to do better than somebody else? And guess what? Somebody else have things that they know how to do better than other people, or it comes easier to them than other people. So it's not about knowing everything. A lot of times it's, that goes back to that old saying. It's not about what you know all the time, but who you know. So what comes easy to you that's hard for everybody else? What could you create one time and get paid forever for? And two, where is your time better spent? Because you would be spending less time doing the things that you don't know how to do. But if it's something, a project that you're working on and you need a certain thing done, there's nothing wrong with learning new things. But where is your time better spent? So those are 3 questions that bro was asking. That's why I was like, yeah, this is fire. Because I think answering those 3 questions, sitting down with yourself, answering those 3 questions will move us along, put us in the right space, in the right train of thought. Which moves on into the other topic was we've been taught or told that we need to work hard to get ahead. But it should be working harder to work smart. We should be trying to work smart, not necessarily hard. If we're going to be working hard, we need to be working hard on figuring out how to work smart. Working smart is figuring out how to not necessarily need our labor in order to make money. See, I got on this journey about 2 decades ago. I started thinking because like I said, if you've been watching my previous videos, I was a full-time barber. So that means I had to go to the barbershop every day and I had to cut hair to make money. So if no hair is being cut, that means no money is being made. Right? So after a while, I was like, yo, something got to give, because there's only so many hours we can work in a day. And if, in my case, there's only so many heads I can cut in a day. Something had to give. I'm like, yo, it gotta be something more to life. It gotta be better ways to make money without me having to be here. Or me having to show up and physically work. Cause I as a youngin', I'm like, listen, man, this work shit ain't it. This ain't it. It gotta be something else. It gotta be something else. So I went down this rabbit hole a minute ago. And I'm finally here. But in this post he was talking about how, banks make money. Banks make money by loaning out your money. You make deposits, they loan out that money at a greater interest rate than what they pay you to have it there. So if you getting 0.4% interest on your money, they take your money and loan it out for 15, 20% interest on that loan. So this is how banks make money. Then you have, people that have Airbnbs that they don't even own. So they're leveraging somebody else's house to make money. And in my case, I'm leveraging cars. I'm not driving them, but they're making me money. Right? Same thing with stock dividends. You buy the stock, they pay you dividends. So it's not necessarily about slaving away, sweat off your brow type shit. It's about figuring out ways to work smart. So working hard is not enough. You got to figure out how to leverage, other resources besides your energy resource, because that's limited. But there's no limit on how many assets or how many other things you can leverage. There's no limit on that in order to make money. So that's a gem right there. It's not necessarily about how, because there's only so many hours you can work anyway. Right? And that leads me to, my next job, where I personally, when I learned this in 2020 about digital assets, you create them one time and they can sell forever. So that's leverage. That's leveraging digital assets. It's all kind of assets, right? But this is the digital aspect. I created over 10 digital products that sit in my bio. All I have to do is have content ran through my page and direct you to the link in the bio. So that is leveraging digital assets. And feel free to hit the link in the bio if you want to learn about dividends, if you want to learn about rental cars, if you want to learn how to grow your IG. Because, of course, we all know that the more followers you have, the more leverage you have, the more opportunity you have for collaborations and licensing deals. So the more following you have, the higher following you have. That opens up the doors for other things. So I have that in there. It's 7 other things in there to push you forward. So digital assets. So don't say nobody ain't tell you. It's links in the bio. Everything that I do to level up, to not work hard, but to work smart, is in there. That shows you how to do the same. And one thing my mom taught me back years ago when I wanted to quit the baseball team. Why did I want to quit? I forgot why I wanted to quit. But she was like, listen, you quit when you start quitting stuff. It'll become a habit. You don't want to get in the habit of quitting things that you start. You quit once, opens up the door to quit twice. Before you know it, you'll be going through life quitting everything you started. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was like 10 or something like that. I think I just wanted to play basketball or something, but I could have played both. Because I was pretty decent at both. But she was like, you quit this, you will be quitting. It'll become a habit. So don't start quitting stuff, right? Especially when you have goals. You got goals. You're basically quitting on yourself at the end of the day, right? Because it's not like you're quitting somebody else's goal. You're quitting your own goal. You're quitting on yourself. Because for one thing, today, I was tired, man. I was tired today. I ain't feel like posting. I ain't feel like doing this. But that inner dog kicked in. Because sometimes you got to tap back into times past when you fought through your tiredness and the results that you got for doing it. Sometimes you got to think back to when the last time you kept going and how you felt when you got to the finish line. Sometimes you got to tap back into that, because it's plenty of times life always works out. If you look back, anybody that's watching this, it always worked out because you kept going. So sometimes you got to think back, and every time I feel like stopping, every time I feel like quitting, I think back to when I was in college. I was in college because I wanted to be there. See, a lot of times, like in high school, like there was this have to, because our parents, like, you wasn't about to sit home all day. You had to go to high school. You had to go to grade school. So unless you had some really, you had some parents that was on you, that instilled the importance of education, and you had that in you early, it was a sense of obligation. It's like you was obligated. It's not like you really wanted to be there, unless, like I said, they instilled that into you. It's a different feeling being obligated to do something and actually wanting to do it yourself. It's a difference. It's a different energy there. So I was in college because I wanted to be there. But it was times, because I had an hour commute my second year. I had an hour commute, and that means I had to get up an hour earlier, as if if the campus I was going to was 20 minutes away. I had to get up an hour earlier in order to get there. I had to consider traffic and whatnot. So sometimes I didn't feel like getting up, dog. Like, I just did not feel like getting up. But I wanted to be there. And like I said, it's a different energy when you want to be somewhere versus being obligated to be there. It's a different energy that's in there. So I had to tap back into that when I got up and made the decision, like, yo, I'm going to school today. And I graduated, got my degree. So I say all that to say, today I was tired. Today I didn't feel like posting. Today I didn't feel like doing my recap. But I tapped back into that goal I set when I was in college. I was like, you know what? You wanted to do this. You can't quit on yourself. You can't quit on your own goals. Right? So you wanted to build a brand. You wanted to be an entrepreneur. Get up, post, do what you're supposed to do. Do what you set out to do. Ain't no quitting on yourself. So, and of course that, what my mom told me years ago, that kicked in too. So all these things kicked in, and these are the things that need to kick in for you. If you have some goals that you set for yourself, no one set these goals for you. You set them for you. You set these goals for you. So you can't quit on yourself and your own goals, especially if you know why you're doing it. You know why you're doing it. That's why you set the goal to do it. But you can't quit on your own goal. You have to think back to why you're doing it. So that's what happened to me today. It was like, you can't quit on your own goals, bro. Like, you made this goal. You set this goal. Get your ass up. You dig? So sometimes you gotta tap into the last time you didn't quit. Tap into that. And fellas, we can't get caught up. We can't get caught up in everybody else's wins, seeing what everybody else doing, and thinking we behind because somebody else is ahead of us, perceived ahead of us, or they got more trinkets than us, or they seem happier than us, whatever the case may be. We can't confuse our stage and our process with other people's shit. Can't do it. Because they may have went through their inner work stage already. They may be in their reap stage. We can't confuse the two. Because what'll happen is you're in your inner work stage, right? You're doing the inner work that's necessary to reap the benefits. But we get caught up in seeing somebody else's reaping stage. And we want to rush and buy shit we ain't supposed to be buying yet. We want to do stuff that we ain't supposed to be doing yet. You can't do that. Because now you out of line. You're out of alignment. You're not running your race. This is your movie. You're the star character. They're in their own movie. You dig what I'm saying? And a lot of times, with social media, you'll get caught up trying to compare yourself to somebody else's movie. You the star in your own movie. So don't confuse your inner work stage with someone else's reap stage. Because it can be a challenge sometimes for some people to be in their inner work stage, because a lot of that work, there's no compensation for that stage. There's no accolades for that stage. A lot of that work is done in quiet, and nobody is watching. Nobody's looking, nobody's clapping for you in the inner work stage. So that could be a challenge for some people, because some people need to hear applause all the time. The inner work stage, there's no applause in that stage. So you can't confuse your inner work stage with someone else's reap stage. You can't do it. Don't do it. You're in your own movie. Which leads me to my next topic. You're in your own movie. In actuality. And if you can create the star character of your own movie, what would the script say? What would that star character be doing? Because that's you. If you can create the star character of your movie, that will be AKA the goals. That will be the goals. So if you were the star of your own movie, which you are, you're the star of your own movie. If you can write the script, what would he be doing today? What would the star of that movie, your movie, what would he be doing tomorrow? Do that. Do that. And that's in essence what we're doing when we write in our goals. We're writing the script for the star player, the star of the movie, your movie, you. When we're writing our goals, that's exactly what we're doing. We're writing the script for the star in the movie. What will he be doing now? What are you going to be doing tomorrow? What are you going to be doing 30 days from now? 60 days, 90 days. Write it down and play the part. Play it. Play it right now. Whatever you will be doing, do that. Because at the end of the day, you are the star of your movie. We're in our own movie. So this is why you can't get caught up in somebody else's movie. He in a whole nother scene in his movie. But you looking at his movie like, oh, I'm behind. No, you're not behind. You in a whole nother movie, bro. It's called your movie. You in a whole nother movie. So you can't get caught up and you scrolling, seeing somebody else's movie, seeing scenes from somebody else's movie, and be like, damn, that should be me. No, that's not your movie, bro. Write the script to your own movie and know what scene you in. Because like I said, you looking at a whole nother movie. They in a reap stage. They in a reap scene. They reaping. You ain't even see the inner work they was doing. You ain't even see that scene. Same for you. A lot of people not going to see your inner work scene. That work is done in the dark. That work is done when nobody is looking. That's that scene. So don't confuse your inner work scene with somebody else's reap scene. First of all, it's two different movies, two different scenes. Get out that man movie. Stick to your script. You ever heard of stick to the script? Stick to the script. Stick to your goals. Because those are the scenes for your movie. If you was the star of your own movie, what would the script say? Whatever it say, do that. Do that. It's your man Don Bucks, man. This conversation that brings compensation. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.